to be here.
And welcome.
Thank you.
To Author Central Station.
Awesome.
So let me tell you all a little bit about Chairidee Smith. She is also known as Miss Mogul. She is the author of the newly released
Yes.
The Roar of a Woman. Miss Mogul is a celebrated, nationally recognized speaker, global advocate for women and children, award-winning business leader in real estate and business consulting, a podcast host, visionary, entrepreneur, and media personality with 17 years of business and leadership success in the Houston market and national business and women's empowerment scene. For over a decade, Ms. Mogul has utilized executive coaching, leadership development, keynote speaking, business startup and growth, mentoring, entrepreneurial ventures, and global enterprise to not only fuel the Houston economy, but women's businesses and global economy. So it is perfect for you to be on Afro Vibes Radio.
I'm at home.
Worldwide.
I'm at home. Anywhere I go, I can find home.
So who is Chairidee Smith?
Wow, she's a character. She's a bit of a character. First of all, Chairidee Smith is a believer. She's a mother. She's a very proud mother. I'm a woman. I guess and people will say, well, duh. But no, I really embrace being a woman and being a leader. We tout leaders and we tout entrepreneurs, but I do that in the space of being a woman, and I'm very proud of that. I think the Creator was genius when He made me a woman. I'm a passionate leader. I'm a speaker. I'm an entrepreneur, and now I can add author to my growing repertoire. I'm a firm believer that we continue to grow and evolve. And you can read that bio and you say, my God, she couldn't make up her mind what she wanted to be. But quite the contrary. I'm a woman that believes in shattering boxes. So you can't put me in one. As soon as you think you have me figured out, I'm evolving into somebody else. And I think it's important that we keep growing. So who is Chairidee Smith? She's a woman on a journey.
Well, if you recognize the value of who the Master made you,
Yes.
He can morph you at any moment into whatever it is He needs you to be. So living and being
Yes.
an out-of-box big girl
Yes,
brings Him glory
absolutely.
and honor.
Yeah,
And it makes the world a better place.
absolutely. And life is not dull. I think when we buy into labels, life can become very stagnant and boring. But as long as we continue to grow and evolve and change and equip ourselves for the next phase in life, life is always a blessing and a joy.
Wow. So why did you write this book? Not just because it was the time and the season, but why?
I think women needed this voice. Now I'm going to let you marinate on that. We needed to hear this voice in the market. We have experienced the Me Too movement, and so many of our guests may have seen Oprah Winfrey when she had her acceptance speech on the Globe. What was it? The
Golden Globes?
Yes.
Or was it the Emmys?
No, the Golden Globes, that's what
Okay.
it was. But in that speech, she made some candid statements, and one of the statements that stayed with me is that she said she understood her place in history and how young girls were now viewing her the same way she had viewed Sidney Poitier all those years before her. And she thought it was important that she stand in her space, speak her truth, and tell her story. Well, before I saw that experience, that global iconic speech from Oprah, I was already on that journey having my own moment. And so I felt empowered finally to tell my story. And I say to my publisher, You know, I finally feel like, and pardon my puns here, because you know I'm a bit raw. I feel I'm finally strong enough to stand on the stage under the light, butt naked, and tell my truth. And what I mean by that is there are no masks. It is what it is. If it was beautiful, it is that. The ugly is that. But I'm finally in a place where I can embrace all of it as my experience. So that's why I wrote it. I felt like this voice needed to be heard. And there are some other women who needed to hear that story and find out they're not unique in their path.
And the thing that I hear when I read your book and I look at the title, I hear that you too can roar.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so we migrate from me too to you too can
To
roar.
us too.
Yes, yes.
It's a community.
A collective.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. So, what is the book's mission? Most books have a mission and a vision, and I want to know what effect or worldwide change you want to be a catalyst for.
Oh, that's a God-given question. So the purpose of this book, what I want the heartbeat of this book to be, is a catalyst for open dialogue. I want us to finally have a discussion about gender issues outside of what we've seen in the market. I believe that we have not clearly defined what it means to be a woman with power. I believe that we've seen that role in a very masculine sense, and we felt like in order for us to be powerful, we had to be masculine. And that's a discussion that men and women need to have. Unfortunately, and you'll read it in the book, unfortunately, I believe, I don't want to speak for him, but I believe I was married to a man who did not understand what it meant to be a husband of a powerful woman. So instead of embracing that and understanding how to use that, and I put that in quotes, how to use that and benefit from that, he found that to be a threat to his masculinity because he perceived power to be masculine. It's not. When you define the word power, gender is never associated with the word power. So that means whether male or female, you can possess power. What is power? The ability to influence things, people, movement, thoughts, paradigms. That's who I am. I'm a woman of power, but I'm a woman. So I want to have now a discussion with women and men about what it means to be a powerful woman. How do you love her? How do you understand her? How do you promote her? How do you live with her? How does she lead? How does she love? How does she communicate? Those are conversations that I think we need to have without all of those other predispositions, if you will, laid on top of that.
Because personally, I'm tired of this angry black woman syndrome. I am so tired of people talking about us being mad and angry about our place in the world. But anybody who has been placed in a box is going to fight with such pit bull mentality to get out of that place when she knows that she is so much more. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that we have perceived ourselves and our sisters in a very erroneous light. I don't think at all that we were angry black women, in quotes. I think we were frustrated with a set of circumstances that at the time we may have felt powerless to impact. But when we bring that collective power and passion and righteous indignation together, understanding who and what the opposition is, it's not our men, it's not our femininity, it's not really even our history. Now some folks are going to say, wait a minute, come to the book signing and I'll clarify that for you. But I think it's a set of circumstances where we have been, in many cases, forced to live out a reality that we didn't co-sign. And we felt like we had to live out that reality again in order to be loved, to be promoted, to be accepted. Case in point, I just made the decision to start wearing my natural hair. Now, back in the day, in the 90s, I was the sister with the roller set and the hair was down, and baby, yes, I was a Baywatch babe when it came to swinging the hair. But I finally got to a place after my divorce, and I had an encounter with God, and I'll explain that at some point. But it was important to me to really embrace me and all that meant. And for me, the expression was taking the chemicals out and embracing my hair. And we as African American women, Hebrew women, however you want to label yourself, we've had this love-hate relationship for generations with our hair. But now we're coming to a point where we crown ourselves with this hair. So whether you decide to straighten it or you leave it kinky like me, it doesn't matter as long as you can fully embrace who and what she is. And this hair is no longer something I stand behind to be protected, but I wear it now as a crown of glory. So to answer your question, I think we've wrongly embraced what the anger is all about. And it's time to really have a different focus and a different way to channel, quote unquote, that anger.
So who should buy your book?
Everybody that's literate. And what I mean by that is men, women, boys, and girls. If you're a woman, you need to read this book to hear the heart of another woman. If you're a man, you need to hear this from a female standpoint. If you're raising sons and daughters, this is a great opportunity to have a discussion about roles and respect and honor. So everybody should read this book.
Wow, wow. Well, we have had the privilege of talking to my friend Chairidee Smith, the author of a great
I love the way
book.
that sounds, the author. Yes! Yes!
And you know what? We're going to come right back after a brief station break. This Afro Vibes Radio worldwide. Oh, you don't want to miss a second of the Central Station. We'll be right back to Afro Vibes Radio worldwide. This is Sharon C. Jenkins, and you are at the Central Station. And I just want you to know that you are in the right place at the right time with the right girl. I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. And my guest today is Miss Chairidee Smith, aka Miss Mogul.
Yes.
Woo.
I'm here.
And Chairidee has written this book called The Roar of a Woman. Ooh.
Yes.
Now, where'd you get this title from?
My experience on the floor. So let me explain. I am in a place where I'm extremely broken, and I've just experienced divorce. I lost my man and everything that a woman could lose. And I'm on the floor trying to figure out what life is all about. I watched The Lion King, and there's this part where Simba remembers who he is, and you have to watch the movie and read the book. But there's this point where Simba has gone a lifetime denying his identity, denying his power, denying his voice, and he misses the covering of his father. He gets to a place where he's broken, and he's challenged by Scar. He overcomes Scar, but the way that he assumes his power is that he ascends Pride Rock, and in the midst of chaos, he lets out a roar. And when he utters the roar, now chaos has to come in alignment and order comes. The lionesses come back into order. The chaos is removed from the environment, but nothing happened until he served notice on the chaos via his roar that there was a new sheriff in town, there was a new authority here. So what is this book about? This book is about a woman's journey who's gone through a lifetime of chaos. It begins in childhood, and it's perpetuated throughout my marriage and my adult life. But I get to a place where enough is enough, and the Father calls me out of my chaos. And I have a similar experience where I'm on the floor and I let out a sound that's ancient and strong and powerful and whole. And I now announce to my environment that there's a new authority here. The old girl you knew is not here anymore. She died. The woman is here, and we call her the lioness.
Ooh, did you hear that? I hope you were listening carefully, because when you fall down and when you're out for the count, there is something that will cause you to get up again and to walk in the fullness of what you're called to.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to read this excerpt.
Please.
From this book. So get your listening ears on. Yesterday was National Read Aloud Day. So I'm going to read aloud in honor of a holiday. Get ready. And this comes from The Roar of a Woman, My Journey from Silence to the Power Within. My husband. What is the preparation for something like this? I feel as if I'm standing outside of my body, living in a hellish nightmare that I can't stop. This is the equivalent, standing on the train tracks with the locomotive coming squarely at me with no hopes of slowing down. I'm just a deer looking into headlights. I stood there looking at my husband, the love of my life, a deacon in our church, a leader, the father of my child, and I feel dead inside, literally dead. Wow.
And you should be in literary theater or something. Yes, that was everything. That was everything.
That was the truth.
That was
your
my life.
truth. And our truth.
Yeah.
In some respects. So give us a snapshot of what's in this powerful book. I love your transparency, by the way.
Thank you. What's in this book? It's a life, it's a journey, and I'm giving you a narrative of how life can take you through some really dark and broken places, and how it can take you to the pinnacle of success and it can drop you, how it can take you to the door of love and then close it, how it can take you to the brink of success and snatch it back. But none of that can and should define you. All of these were lessons, and it was boot camp life, if you will, that the Father took me through so that I could come here today and be, as I believe it was, what is the man name that sings, I'm stronger, I'm wiser, I'm better, much better. Marvin Sapp. I understand now the lyrics of that song. I'm not bitter about anything I went through. As a matter of fact, I was driving in this morning and I was sharing with my sister Sharon how I was thinking about the book and the words that I finally had the courage to write. And when I thought about those places that used to ache and ooze and hurt, I touched them this morning and there was no pain there.
What a gift.
So you talk about what this book is about. It's about healing. We don't, and there's a quote I put in there, we don't expose people, we expose pain. Now, think about that. We don't expose people. It's not about exposing the person and really airing out what I think they quote unquote did to me, but it's about talking about the pain and the experience and how I learned and healed and grew from it, and how I'm a stronger, better, wiser, more prepared woman now to lead women through that situation.
Wow, wow. And you have to be submissive to a loving overseer in order to say yes to that experience, because pain ain't fun.
No, it's not.
But the product of pain will save your life.
Absolutely.
And equip you to be a healed healer
Absolutely, I like that.
How are you a healed healer?
Oh, the opportunities I have now to talk to women who can't tell, and here's where it's going to get tricky. I'm a pastor as well, and so I've had the opportunity to walk with women who are in church. Nobody knows how to wear a mask and a hat better than a church woman. Now that's going to offend some, but remember, I'm the sister who bought the hat and wore the mask. So I know what's behind all of that. And to have a place now where women are in leadership, whether it's Fortune 500 companies or whether it's the pulpit in the church, now there is a platform, a forum where women who have everything to lose can come and talk about it. Lose nothing but gain everything. You didn't hear me. So now I have the ability to be a midwife to them. They can come and share their pain, share the things that are ugly they can't share with their parishioners or their downline or those people who look up to them, but they need to get it out. Now you have a place to do that. And come and be healed, and then go back with all of your dignity intact. I don't think we really have had that in a long time, and I'm blessed and fortunate to now be a midwife to that experience.
Oh, wow. So tell us a little bit about what's on the horizon for you. I understand you have a book launch coming up.
Yes, it will be everything. On February 10th, I will launch the book. It's already on Amazon, The Roar of a Woman. Just find it on Amazon. But I will be at the Ensemble Theater here in Houston, February 10th, 2 to 4, and we'll do the book signing. We'll have a wonderful display, music, etc. I'll also have an open forum coming up in March where I'll be teaching women on air the lessons of a lioness. And we're going to talk about what it means to be in beast mode but not be masculine.
And you are actually coming to my Sundays Facebook Lives.
I am.
Yes.
I am.
So you're going to get some more of the master communicator.
I can't wait.
And the lioness that roars.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to get
be a
that.
fabulous time.
I think so. And I can hardly get off the mic today, but we only have 30 minutes.
It goes fast when you're having fun.
I know. So what other events would you like to let the audience know about? And also, how can they contact you?
Awesome. So the big event is the book launch. In March will be the launch of the podcast. So I'll have some events coming up with that. But I really want to focus on that event in March where we're talking about the lessons of a lioness. Everything you can find at www.chairidee.com. You can also call my office, Mogul Life Multimedia, 281-676-9857, or shoot my booking agent an email at KMF, that's Kangaroo Mary Frank _ businessandrealty@live.com. Everything will be there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, a closing thought for our audience, please, Miss Chairidee Smith, my friend, the lioness.
Wherever you are in life, I don't care what path you're on, be true to you. Find your voice, find your passion, find the thing that makes you alive. Embrace it fully. Don't be afraid to look at it in the face. Embrace it, and then use that as a catalyst to move yourself forward. I don't care what you have achieved. You have not achieved your best yet. Keep roaring and keep growing.
Wow. Thank you, Chairidee.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for tuning in today to Author Central Station on Afro Vibes Radio Worldwide. I am fascinated about that worldwide component because that means that this message that authors who have the courage to put their pen in hand can get their message worldwide. Now, the other thing that I want to share with you, next Friday, I am going to have Minister James L. Stanfield. He's coming in from the East Coast, And he is the guy that's going to be at Windsor Village United Methodist Church doing a session on Anointed for Business. And we're going to talk to him because he is an international speaker, author, trainer, and entrepreneur. So I just want to thank you for tuning in. But I've already said that. I just want you to fall in love this month. This is February. And you know what? It's all about love. So, I'm going to part from you saying this. I love you. And there ain't nothing that you can do about it. And guess what? We'll be back next week. AfroVibesRadio.com, Author Central, the Master Communicator, saying bye.